But I like what you said. You can't just go take all the action from a book. You got to find a mentor that resonates, and I appreciate you sharing that. If you would, take a minute, go back. Talk to us about how you met your mentor and how the process started as you were connecting with him, working towards your first deal.
I heard of him by reputation. I was going to. I'm setting while we're speaking here. I'm setting up Periscope. By the way, Maybe we'll talk about marketing a little bit later on this. Because I have a big following, and hopefully the people are following me because I'm talking to Brock Collins here, and he has a great podcast. And make sure you watch him and sign up on iTunes. I met my mentor. I had a problem, first of all. I was going to all the gurus. I was going to all the seminars. I was reading all the books. I had enough information to be dangerous, but not successful. Why did I get into real estate? Because I wanted money. I wanted free, and money to me was freedom. Freedom not to be up at 2:30 in the morning saying, how am I going to pay my rent? Okay, or you ever go out on a date and you gave them your credit card and the waiter comes back and you're on a first date with a nice girl and it says this card won't go through and you got to borrow money from her. That's broke, baby.
Yeah,
that's really broke. And so I was going all this information. I loved real estate, but I was really bad at negotiation, at sales. I had enough money to buy a few properties from auctions and things like that. And then I heard of this guy, and I was running out of money, and I was asking people, how do you do this business when your credit's getting strained, your cash is running low, you barely have enough to pay your bills? What are you doing? And I heard the word lease purchase over and over again. And I met one guy, my mentor Max, once again. That's what he specialized in. I heard his name several times. I said, I got to find this guy. And I kept calling. I found his office, kept calling, and his secretary, who I call Brunhilde, kept putting me off and say he's too busy, won't see you and everything. So I found out where they are. I found out he's an early riser. Most successful entrepreneurs can't wait for tomorrow. They start they start early in the morning. They're go-getters. They're hungry. They're passionate. And this guy, I met him in the parking lot. It was dark. It was New Jersey. He pulled in. I was there, and I said, "Hi there, Mr. Max. I'd like to talk to you." I scared the S out of him. Okay? I scared the really crap out of him. And he said, "Are you the guy who keeps calling my secretary, Brunhilde?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I'll give you 5 minutes. Go to the 7-Eleven, get me a bagel and a cup of coffee. I'll give you 5 minutes." I was able to sell myself to the guy, and I got basically what we call an internship. I worked for this guy. I did my regular job. I came home. I went to him after work, weekends and stuff, and I fetched coffee. I picked up dry cleaning. I picked up his wife at the airport. That was the price I was willing to pay to be around a genius, a millionaire. And another rule, besides finding a mentor, a real mentor, someone who picks up the phone and talks to you, find somebody who's successful in their own right. Find a guy. If you want to be a millionaire, hang around with millionaires. Mm-hmm. A lot of them who did it from the seat of their pants. These are great people to learn from, to learn their hustle, to learn their methods, their philosophy, their salesmanship. And the most important thing, I love lease purchasing and all the strategies in real estate are good, is sales. Sales is the $1 million skill. Mm-hmm. We've got to be able to give good phone.
How that applies for you with real estate, go a step further with that with sales. So for our listeners can zero in on where you're going with that.
Well, I wrote a couple books here. Let me grab them real quick. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote a book called the G.U.T.S Sales Method. It's on Amazon and my webpage. And then I wrote another book, a manual, How to Sell with Guts. We don't know how to sell anymore. Okay? Sales is different in 2016, okay? You don't give presentations. You don't ask for the order. You don't be an annoying little pest to people, okay? You don't read scripts. You don't do all this junk that all these old school real estate gurus are still teaching. You talk to people like they're an adult. Mm-hmm. We have this adult-to-adult conversation. Mr. Brock, you have a house for sale. You have a house for rent. You want to get into a house. You want to invest in a house. My name is Claude Diamond. I specialize in creative real estate, and I consult with people. You mind if I ask you a few questions? Maybe I can help you today. Mm-hmm. What is your problem? What is your issue? What is your goal? What do you want to see happen? Would you mind sharing that information? And if I can help you with that, and you feel as good about me as I feel about you, can we move forward and make a commitment today?
Well, I really like that, and thanks for sharing that because in
3 minutes, baby, 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that's good because I think so many investors, Claude, who are just getting started, or maybe they've done a couple deals, look at each deal as how much can I make of that house, and that's the only thing I'm going to focus on. And when you focus on only yourself getting the deal done, you lose sight of how can you solve the problem and make money at the same time to make it win on both sides. And that's where your sales methods come in.
Well, they kind of. Here's a little bit different also. I believe in win-win as long as I win first. I believe the salesman comes first, not the prospect, as Zig Ziglar and who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I believe that people are out there working hard, doing business honestly, willing to bend over backwards and give unbelievable customer service. And then what does the prospect say? What are those magic obfuscation words they use when they don't want to make a commitment or they want to backpedal out of a deal or they just want to pick your brain for free consultation? What are those phrases they say, Brock?
Are you talking about the homeowner or the client?
I don't care. What do people say when they don't want to make a commitment?
Well, let me get back to you. I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. I'll talk to my spouse. I'll review this and get back to you in the near distant future, Brock. This is real. You're a great guy. Thanks for the lattes, the steak dinner, driving me around for 3 days. You're a great guy. God bless you. I'll give you my highest consideration. I'll tell my wife what a great guy you are. And then you call him a week later and you get voicemail. Then you call Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you can't get the guy. 3 weeks later, he says, Claude who? Brock who? What is Brock short for? Broccoli? I love broccoli.
Well,
where'd you get that name?
I don't like broccoli.
Okay.
No, actually, it was my dad's college friend in college, and he passed away in before college was through, and so I kind of got the name that way.
I'm sorry to digress. I had to ask. The whole world wanted to know.
And now there it is.
There it is. I'm so bad with names. I married a woman named Claudia.
Well, now you can never forget.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so talk to us about challenges that like you faced when you got started, Claude. Like, what were the biggest things? You said you were kind of running out of money, and so you needed some creative ways to do. You met Max, and he talked to you about lease options. What challenges did you have as you jumped into there?
Learning. There are 3 things we need in business to succeed. We need something we're passionate about with the correct product knowledge. In real estate, there's the cookie cutter method. Then we need a method of marketing so we have enough leads. I don't know if we have time to talk about it. I am nuts about social media marketing. Then we need the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the one thing. It doesn't matter how many leads you have because you can buy leads and things like that. It doesn't matter what system or cookie cutter you use. There are many good ones out there, not just mine, lease purchasing. But you have to be, and underline this if you're taking notes, superb at sales. You have to be effing great at sales. You have to crush it. You have to kill it in sales. You have to learn how to speak to people, how to ask the right questions, how to create passion and emotion in people, how to create trust and accountability. This is the study and the art and science of persuasion. You have to be superb in psychology, and you have to be a phenomenal actor. I'd like to thank the ladies and gentlemen of the Academy for giving me this 3-minute timer. Okay, you've got to be a great actor, not to be disingenuous, but you create the environment like Spielberg does with movies. You have to create an environment of success with people, and so that they become emotionally involved. And then you have to understand their feelings. You have to be empathetic. Okay, what are they feeling? What are they thinking? So I went through this. I've been mentoring people for years, Brock, in real estate. And I got to tell you you said my failure is my thing. I was training people. I've been doing this 30 years. You wouldn't know it because I put so much hair dye in here. But the thing that really bothered me was I was taking money from people and teaching them lease purchasing and everything I know. And I had a failure rate. And it wasn't because the people weren't intelligent and weren't hardworking and weren't decent people of good character. Okay, and it wasn't because I was lazy or not sharing anything. They were missing something, and it was driving me crazy, Brock. It was my biggest problem. And then someone said, Claude, you're a natural-born salesman. I said, I'm not. I'm the former world's worst. I said, but I learned. He said, why don't you start focusing on the sales, which nobody in our creative real estate business does. Nobody focuses on role-playing and practice. I have them every Monday with my clients. We go on Skype like you or I are on right now. And we do a group call and we role play. I'll think about it. I'll talk to my wife. Send me your contract. All that junk. we role play and we practice the perfect answer for the person we're dealing with today, the prospect. And so that was the answer, teaching sales. And then the next problem is, after people were really good in sales, they didn't have enough leads. And that's my next big, I can't say pissed off, can I? Is that decent?
Sure, go for it.
I got pissed off because people were getting all these antiquated marketing things about yellow letters and buying old mail lists, redundant mail lists, and spending. I've met people who have spent $20,000, $30,000 on marketing, on mail lists, and they get their ROI is in the toilet. It's nonsense. And they're not getting enough quality leads. They're getting garbage leads because they're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And that's another rule. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Be creative, be innovative, and talk to people like you want to be spoken to. So the marketing was another big problem in our industry. And nobody talks about sales, and nobody talks about marketing. It's 2016, 21st century. It's such old, tired BS about flyers and things. And some of the stuff works, but it doesn't work as well, and it costs too much money. Okay, so we have to start. A lot of people have to start learning about social media and live streaming marketing, like you and I are doing. Why are you doing this podcast? Truth be told.
You remember when I told you earlier that I just real estate investing is not work to me? I live and breathe it. I can't stop talking about it. And so here I am connecting with you we're 20 hours away from each other. We're talking real estate. So
yeah,
it never gets old.
It never gets old. So you're doing it because it's fun, it's passionate, and that's important. But why are you really doing it? What is the reward? What is the residual you get from putting out these great podcasts?
There actually, at this point, there is no reward other than internally here.
Nobody calls you up and says, "Hey, Brock, I saw your podcast. I love your content. Can you help me in here and there? Or do you have a book?" Nobody calls you. You don't get any leads from these wonderful podcasts, do you?
I do. I do get leads. Do connect with me. That's absolutely true.
That was my point.
Yeah.
You're using social media through podcasting. My good friend Joe McCall has also, if you know Joe, have you interviewed him?
I have not.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You should interview him. He has a good podcast too. He gets leads from it. I do. I use YouTube. I have over 300 YouTube videos on youtube.com/cdmentor. And I put out content, 2 to 4 minute videos, vignettes on lease purchasing, on sales, on marketing, on how to make the world's best cup of coffee, whatever's on my mind that day.
Yeah.
And people see these things, and hopefully they watch a couple and they say, maybe I like this guy. Maybe I should do, because I'm a secret. And if you want to know my philosophy of marketing, I am a secret. Nobody woke up this morning and said, gee, I want to call up Claude Diamond or Brock Collins and give them an S-load of money or do a real estate deal with them, unfortunately, right? So you've got to do some marketing. And what you're doing here in podcasting, what I do on YouTubes and newsletters and public speaking, and right now I'm on Meerkat and Periscope. I didn't have enough time to set up Blab. Otherwise, we'd be on 4 mediums right now: Skype, Periscope, Meerkat, and Blab.im. Are you familiar with these new technologies, these applications for real estate marketing?
Periscope, yes. The other ones, no.
Periscope is brilliant. It's basically, they're watching you and I speak right now and listening to me on my soapbox. Then I also have Meerkat, which is the original. Actually, Meerkat came before Periscope. Periscope came out at a convention earlier this year in April, okay, and it is revolutionizing our marketing. If we can put out content, really good, contemporary, compelling, consistent content every week, every day, people will discover us, and we won't be a secret anymore. Whether we're buying, selling, or investing, they will say, hey, I like this guy. I live near him. Let me call him. Let me investigate him. Let me Google him. We've got to put out this context and content on a consistent basis that's entertaining and contemporary, okay? And watch the magic always happen, Brock. It always happens. I built up a multi-million-dollar business by talking to people straight, not giving them the guru nonsense, giving them a lot of free content, answering my own phone. Every one of my videos on YouTube, I say, call me, I answer my own phone. How come nobody answers? Why would you trust somebody who doesn't give their phone number or their cell phone number or doesn't put it out on their webpage? I'm at a loss for that. I do. Do you have your phone number on your webpage?
I do.
Good boy. I like that. Because I don't understand it. If someone calls me up with a property, wants to buy, sell, invest, I want to talk to them. I can qualify them quickly with my gut system.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can do business. Guess what happens when you speak to enough people through all this marketing?
Mm-hmm. And I want to pause just for a second. Now, Claude,
one of us better.
No. You and I are talking about, getting out there. Put your name out there. And for your listeners and my listeners who are looking to do real estate deals, the concept is the same. You can't hide away in a box in the back room of your house and think people are going to know that you want to buy their houses. You've got to get out. You've got to take action steps. You can't ever stop getting your name out and networking with people in the market you want to work in, letting them know that you're an investor, you'd like to buy their house.
You've got to hustle. You've got to have the energy. You got to have, like you said, I believe in the passion, but the passion has got to be practical. Okay, you got to make money because you're putting out. Most people that I talk to are putting out a lot of money for education, for marketing, and for all the computers and doodads and applications and accessories. You have to think about, will I get a profit? Will I get it back? This is a business, not a hobby. And you got to really bust your butt on it. I think whoever wrote the book, what's the name of the book? Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. I can't say BS. I can't say BS. You guys know what I mean. There's no 4-hour work week if you want to become wealthy. Okay, there's none. Because I'm just telling. I know a lot of really successful people. I love to hang around with them, and they all busted their butt. They worked their ass off. They also live great lives. They can take off. I mean, people think I'm a workaholic. I'm not. I take off every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I usually work in the morning. I can take off whenever I want. The trouble is, why would you take off from something you'd love? Mm-hmm. I got a seminar I do in Hawaii every January, okay, with Joe McCall and Larry Mariska Gill. And God, I love it. I can go to Hawaii. I can teach people. I take my little iPad with me and my iPhone. I'm still in business. I'm still wheeling and dealing and doing deals and just having fun with it. So go ahead.
Talk to us about those deals. And now you're doing deals. And are you still using lease options mostly today? Fix and flip, wholesale, cash flow? What's working for you in today's market, Claude?
Today's market is cash is always king, no matter what anybody tells you. Okay, when you have the cash, when you have cash and credit, you can go to people and you are in control. You are the power source. Okay, I can go to anybody and say, listen, my name's Claude Diamond. I'm interested in your property. I can close in 15 days. I'm pre-approved from the bank, or I have the cash if you can discount the property. Sir, I'm a wholesaler investor. I need a property, depending on, I need a property anywhere from 15 to 40% under market, but I can close quick and I can give you the cash so you don't fool around with the realtors and the looky-loos and the wannabe investors. Would you like to do business today, sir? It's okay to say no to me. So cash, but it took me a long time to get here, okay? Yeah. I didn't remember, I told you I was broke. The evolution of getting there was a lot of risk. Mark Harrelson said, take your credit card, get as many credit cards as possible, take the cash advances, and buy the properties, the nothing down properties that Robert Allen told you about, that Mr. Nickerson told you to fix up and do with sweat equity. I've done all these fix flips. I've done all these strategies. The bottom line in real estate is control, is leverage. Okay, how do I control a property? And what I teach people today is, even if you don't have two nickels to rub together, get a contract on a property today. Negotiate, learn the skills, and find out, can you do a rent-to-own? Can you do a lease purchase? Can you do owner financing? Or can you do a cash deal? Because even if I don't have the cash, if I get a contract that is assignable, I can call up my friend Brock Collins and say, Brock, where do you live, Brock?
In the Midwest.
In the Midwest. Well, that's a nice state. Where is that? Where do you live?
I live actually just south of Chicago.
South Chicago. Chicago's one of the best town. You got a little trouble with your pizza, but but other than that, I love Chicago. It's a great city. Okay, I call you up. I say, hey, Brock, I've got a beautiful place on Michigan Avenue. Michigan and Ohio Avenue, right near Duo's Pizza, okay? And I got this property. It's a brownstone. It's worth $2.5 million. I have it for $1.8 million under a contract. We got to close in 45 days. What, would you be interested in this? I'm calling up all my investor friends.
How much is it worth, you say?
It's worth $2.5 million, but it needs about $250,000 in repair. I've got it under contract for 1.8.
1.8. I think my answer to you would, I need to have an exit strategy in place, meaning I can't just take it from you, right? I can't take it from you unless I'm ready to move a tenant.
Do you have Brock? Do you have the cash? Are you liquid enough to do this deal today? I'll sell it. I'll sell it to you real quick for $50,000. You do the repairs if you have the cash, and you can remarket this thing and make yourself $250,000 or more. Are you interested in this property?
I may be, but I need to. You want to send me those comps over that you're saying it's worth 2.5?
I'll send you the comps. If you like the comps, and we speak later today at 12:30, can you do the deal? Do you have the liquidity and the authority to make a commitment today?
I can do a deal. The money's always there when a deal makes sense.
No, that's not my question. Do you have the money? Are you liquid?
It doesn't matter.
It matters to me, Brock. I don't have the time to waste. If you don't have the liquidity, our conversation's over.
Okay. Well, here's what I tell the listeners.
Am I an SOB or what?
It's okay, but no, I like it because for the listeners of the Freedom Real Estate Investing Podcast, I want you to know that when you find tough sellers like this, if they're too tough and if there's enough money, you do it. Well, what I'm telling you is if I'm talking to a seller and they're wondering, do I have the cash? And if I don't personally have it in my bank account, they're not going to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
You just let them go. There's always a next seller, okay?
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be your cash because I work on a lot of other people's cash. And so if the deal makes sense, just as Claude, if he was in my spot as being the buyer, if it's not his cash, he can find the cash if it makes sense. And that's what I want you to pay attention to.
Yeah, and what I was looking for was I want to make $50,000 today. I want a guy who's got the cash, who's got the liquidity, a decision maker. I don't want a broker who's going to rebroker because that's infinity, man. It just goes on forever. And part of G.U.T.S, and you did a great role play, and I was trying to, and basically you did something. One of my favorite little words. You obfuscated. You would not answer a direct question about the money, I can always find the money. What that tells me is you don't have it. And that means it's over for me because I want to call a guy who wants a $2.5 million property for a $1.8 million contract because that means to him, he stands to make $700,000 gross profit. Other than the $50,000 he pays me, $650, and maybe he puts in $150,000 to $250,000 in repairs. He's going to make $250,000 or more. And most guys who have money, and I've done business with them before, they're a new guy. I'll send them a prospectus, a 1 or 2 page pictures, the numbers, copy of my contract, and I will send it to them. And we will make a decision today to buy this property or not. I'll have the comps. I'll have a contractor do a basic estimate of the property, and I will sell that contract today for $50,000. That's called arbitrage. Mm-hmm. And you can use that with options or sales agreements. And basically, I can sell that contract today and arbitrage it and make myself $50,000 cash. You buy the property. You deal with the attorney, the escrow, the title, everything. You deal with the fix-up and the contractors and all that. All I want is to wholesale it to you real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's one way to do a deal and make $50,000 today.
Let me ask you, if I'm the cash buyer and I say, yeah, Claude, I've got the 1.8 or whatever, and we can close on that quick.
I love you. Thank you. You're my guy.
Well, are you asking, do you have them, even though they're liquid, to put something down that's non-refundable in escrow that, if they escape or skip on something, before closing?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it depends. If it's a brand new investor I've never done business with, I'm going to have them put some cash because money talks and BS walks, okay? I'm going to have them put some non-refundable money into escrow, okay? If it's someone I've done business with repeatedly, and that's the best thing, by the way. I go to my list. I have investors in 14 different countries. I speak to them. I'll call them up first. I'll say, I got a great deal here. I'll send you the PDF right now. I'll email it to you. Look it over. First guy who gets back to me, makes a commitment, wires me money or puts it into an escrow account, we're doing business today. And you build up a reputation with people who know that you're a straight shooter. You can do business. If it's a new guy, I got to be careful for my BS meter goes off. It's a little dial in the back of my head here. And if I ask a guy, is he liquid or not, and he doesn't give me a straight answer, that's not my boy. Maybe for some other type of business some other day.
Right. Now, for you listening right now, if you're in Claude's position and you're trying to sell the property, wholesale the property that you control with a contract, a lease option, an option, or even just a contract that's assignable, You want to be where his mindset just was. You want to be dealing with the people that have the cash, not saying, I can probably call my grandma or someone that I know and maybe get it. Really, in his position as an investor selling that property or wholesaling that property, you want to deal with the cash buyers direct. And so his angle is correct.
I want to make money today. I have a couple rules I'll share with you real quick if it's all right.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, why are we in business?
Well, to make money.
When?
Now.
Today, baby. There is no tomorrow. It's like Rocky 3. He's with Apollo Creed, and he's not working out. And he says, I'll work out harder tomorrow. And Apollo says, there is no tomorrow, dude. It's only today. And you make your deals today. You get commitments today, or you get out today. Rule number 1, we're in business to make money today. Tomorrow never comes in creative real estate. Somebody else will have a better deal. They'll forget about you, or they'll spend their money buying a new iPad. Okay. Rule number 2, what do we sell? One word answer.
Solution to problems.
Solutions, baby. It's all you need is solutions. We are the doctors of real estate. You've got to ask questions. When you go to your doctor, Brock, and people have heard me before, I say this all the time. You don't give a presentation and tell them about the history of real estate, going back to Noah's Ark and Adam and Eve. You tell them, hey, Mr. Brock, you do what your doctor does. What does your doctor do when you go in for an examination or something's bothering you, Brock?
You basically ask the pain point. How can I help you?
How can I help you, baby?
Right.
Why aren't we doing that in real estate instead of these BS presentations and this nonsense? And we all say, you listen up, 99% of people in creative real estate, I don't care if they're investors or realtors, they all sound the same. Okay? They all sound the same. Let's get right to it. Your doctor is too busy. He's got a waiting room of people. He's a busy dude, or she. Okay? And he'll say, Brock, why are you here? Where does it hurt, baby? Okay? Sit down on the table. Put on this gown that opens up on the back. He doesn't say, hey, we have a special on we have a special on back surgery. You see our coupon in the paper, and my price goes up on Friday. He doesn't say, you don't say, I'll think about it when you've got a toothache, do you? Doctor, pull this tooth. Give me an anesthetic, man. I can't eat. I'm like tearing. When people are in pain or have a need or a greed, which we are supposed to identify by our questions, okay? We want this adult-to-adult conversation where we're communicating with each other. You're still in control because you're asking the questions that are bringing out the pain, the emotion. You're stroking, you're nurturing, you're empathetic. And you're trying to find out, does this person have a need? Okay? Or a greed? Do they have the money to pay to resolve that need or greed? Whether it's an investor or buyer or seller. Do they have the character to give you a commitment when? Now, baby. And can they keep that commitment? Okay? And you need to do this in quick phone calls. So you need to set up your marketing so you have enough people to speak to every day. People are calling you or you're returning calls. You've got to set up that marketing system through your social media. You've got to know how to speak to people so you're having fun on the way to the bank.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And I want to go a step further with that. As you were saying earlier, you've got to be good at sales. You've got to be good at negotiating.
You got to be superb.
Superb. You've got to
no mediocrity, no good. So you've got to be great.
You've got to also get your phone to ring with motivated sellers who are motivated to act when?
Today, baby.
Now.
Yeah.
And who have big equity that they're willing to trade for peace of mind. And here's where I'm going with that. When a seller calls because you put your marketing out, you've networked, and they're calling you, you're now the doctor. They're calling you because they've got a problem they need fixed right now. And if you say, you know what, I'm busy today, but how about next week I come by and take a look at your property? What do you think they're going to do?
Sir, it might be gone by next week.
They're going to call another doctor, another real estate investor who sent them something, or they saw the bandit sign or something. So when they call, you're the doctor. You need to go to triage. You need to get there now, so you can do a deal when.
Right, you're preaching to my choir, man. Okay, it's all about today. Listen, I believe in tomorrow also. I use Evernote. I have special apps that I use that remind me. Just because I can't do business with someone today doesn't mean I'm going to burn the barn down or whatever. I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Collins, doesn't sound like we're going to do business today. I'm very busy, but I'm going to, why don't I call you in 30, 60 days? Hopefully you sold your property, but if not, would you mind if I call you back and maybe we can find a way to do business? Is that all right with you, sir?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you a video email today with a letter of intent, an offer, or my prospectus. You look it over, hang on to it. If you have any questions, call me back. Sir, you and your family have a wonderful holiday season. It was a pleasure to meet with you. Goodbye. Who's in control?
You are.
I am. Win-win is only good if I win first. And that does, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, you've got to have the knowledge. You've got to have the confidence. You've got to have the understanding, why should someone do business with me today? Okay? And the squeaky wheel gets the grease, baby. I'm the shy guy who sat in the back of the room, never talked to the pretty girl, never asked anyone to dance. I had to change. If you think you're going to take your business and give it to somebody in a third world, nice hardworking person in Guam or the Philippines or Kuala Lumpur or something like that, you're not going to succeed. You have to take responsibility for your business. You have to give good phone. You have to pick up that phone and talk to people all day long. Okay, most entrepreneurs that I know make anywhere from 25 to as much as 100 phone calls a day, receiving and calling people, negotiating, putting out content. I send letters of intent. I send video emails every day. I make videos on YouTube, as I said. I do broadcasting with interviews with guys like you on podcasting and CNN or whatever, or live Meerkat, Periscope. We didn't talk about Blab, by the way. We should
give us a quick pitch on it. Tell us
Blab.
what that is.
Blab is genius. Blab was called Bebo. Back in 2005, this young man from the UK invented something called Bebo, and he sold it for I forget the amount, $600-700 million to America online. Okay, it was the go-go days of the Internet 2.0, 1.0. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, and they sold it, and America Online and their genius didn't know what the hell to do with it. They sold it back to him a couple of years ago, I think 2-3 years ago, for $1 million. He then took it, he gave it to his people, they revised it, they re-engineered it, and now it is like what you and I are doing on Skype, but it's a conference call where 4 people, I can be the moderator, I can invite 3 other guest speakers or panelists, just like you and I are doing now, and anybody else can come in and text, ask questions, we can record it, we can stream it to Twitter or Facebook, and we can also save a copy and put it into Catch, which is another system. I don't want to throw too many things out there, or upload it to YouTube, and we can put it out there. This is a great conversation for someone who's driving in the car, wants to learn about real estate from 2 guys like you and I, and maybe they'll say, hey, let me call up Brock, let me call up Claude Diamond, let me read their books, let me find out more about them. Maybe they can help my sister sell her home. Maybe they can help me buy a home. And I use Blab and Periscope and Meerkat and Facebook and Twitter and all these social marketing, social media. And guess what this stuff cost me?
Probably nothing.
Nothing, baby, nothing. So when I talk to people who say, well, I just spent $10,000 on, I bought a mail list from this one company. Okay, I don't know where it is, but it's absentee. Absentee owners in East Bumble, Texas, okay? And I sent them a yellow letter that I got from the guru that they've received 5 times before, and then they call this phone number and they hear this 5-minute voicemail recording, and then if they want, they stay on, they can leave a message, and my person in Guam calls them back and qualifies them, and then they send me a message. Do you believe this bullshit? I'm dying to use language. Okay? All I do is invite people. I keep my business very simple, very personable, and I tell people, call me, I answer my own phone, I will help you buy, sell, or invest, or teach you my gut sales method, because I mentor people one-on-one. What you and I are doing, I do 5 to 10 times a day in half-hour segments with people. We role play, we practice, we make phone calls. I don't know anybody else crazy enough to do mentoring like this, but I love it.
And so, Claude, we're getting close to the end of the show here.
Oh, no.
Well, just actually, before we do this, we got.
I don't have anywhere else to go. No,
actually, we could keep going, but we're getting close to the top of the hour here. So take a few minutes now. Tell us, for our listeners that want to connect with you, man, what's the best way they could reach out, connect with Claude Diamond, and then we'll conclude the show.
Just go to Google, like everyone. Type in Claude Diamond, or go to YouTube and type in Claude Diamond, or call me. I answer my own phone, 970-281-5151. Or just type in Claude Diamond, like a diamond ring, and you'll watch my videos, Call me up if you want. I have books on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on my webpage, ClaudeDiamond.com. I'm not a secret. I'm easy to reach. I'll give you a free half-hour training session on Skype if you want. All you got to do is ask me. And if you feel good about me and I feel good about you, maybe we can do business together in one capacity or another. And that is essentially, Brock, my marketing method. To have enough people discover me and say he's a nut, I don't like him, or maybe this guy has something he can teach me and help me to get to my financial goals.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I've built up a multi-million-dollar business with this simple concept of giving people unbelievable value, answering my own phone, and trying to be as straightforward as I can with people about the reality of becoming a millionaire in this business.
Wow.
Thank you for having me, by the way. I'm sorry if I'm very enthusiastic this morning.
Well, we could have been on for another hour because there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't cover. So maybe I'll have you back on, too, a little later down the line. And thanks for taking time out to be our featured guest today and sharing your expertise and knowledge with our listeners of the Freedom Real Estate Investing Podcast. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for inviting me, and you have a great day and a wonderful holiday to all your listeners.
Awesome, cool, man.
That's cool. Now we're still live. We're still live here. This is the cool thing. This is the after effect.
Okay.
We're still live on Meerkat and Periscope, and maybe they have some. Do you have any questions for me, or would you like them to ask you some questions?
Well, if you have people on, have them ask away.
And let's talk about you and your podcast. How do they discover Brock Collins' podcast?
You can go to iTunes and just type in Freedom Real Estate Investing.
Freedom Real Estate Investing. Go to this guy. He does great interview. He's a great interviewer, one of the best, actually. Lets the person he's interviewing actually talk, And you guys know I have nothing to say. And check this out. What's the name of it again?
Freedom Real Estate Investing. Check
it out, guys. And he's a good guy. He's got great content, and check him out. Anybody have a question before? Sounds good. Thank you. They're tweeting me. They're typing in texts and stuff like that. This is how all the people who follow me, thousands of people follow me, can now follow you. So when you say win-win, you see how it works?
So the Periscope works basically off the Twitter following, right? So if you still have a big Twitter following, awesome. So if you don't have a big Twitter following, you need to kind of build it up, and that way it makes sense to use.
This will build up your Twitter following and your Facebook following. Here's the thing about marketing. When you go, and we're off the air now, guys, for those of you, this is kind of you're getting the special after podcast. This is really where the good shit happens, okay? See, now we're on my time. I can talk like Claude, like that. And it's not that I like to be profane, but adult-to-adult conversations, sometimes there's just no other word than bullshit. Yeah. And I was, by the way, this last week, Jamie Tardy?
I don't.
Jamie Tardy has one of the top 10 it's called Eventual Millionaire. She has one of the top 10 podcasts out there, thousands of followers. Wow. Okay, and she interviewed me. She's done about 300 interviews or something like that. Anyway, she interviewed me a couple months ago, and it was picked. And she was interviewed by Inc. magazine. And guess whose interview they're featuring on Inc. magazine online right now?
Wait, so is it like the Skype recording they'll do, or they'll pull just the podcast audio?
They'll take her podcast and they highlighted it with a link on Inc. magazine, and they're clicking and they're seeing Claude Diamond being interviewed, and that was picked up for her. You talk about win-win and this type of viral marketing. For her to get the recognition in Inc. magazine, that's a biggie. For me, a little schmo like me, to get picked up by her was a win, and then to get picked up by Inc. magazine. Do you see how it flows?
Amazing.
So that could happen maybe to you, because I have a big following. So a lot of people type in Claude Diamond, they're going to say, oh, Brock Collins interviewed Claude. I want everything I can find out about this crazy guy. This is where the social media, and nobody in our industry is talking about the social media.
They might be using it behind closed doors or something and not sharing it out.
It's like a secret, right? Except for you guys. You guys who know me know what I'm talking about. Putting out that it's got to be entertaining, though. That's why I'm a little over the top sometimes, because you hear a lot of podcasts, and a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of live streaming, and they're, you know, and that's, man, you don't keep viewers like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can't be bored or dry.
You can't be bored or dry. You got to make it interesting. How many podcasts have you done so far?
I've launched 54, and I've probably got another 39 that are already in production that'll come out weekly, several a week, and so this episode's probably about 6 weeks out.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I'll reach back out to you a couple days before it goes live, give you the direct link.
I'll blast, and then I will blast it out to Facebook, Twitter. I will send it out to my email list, thousands of people. I will blast it out for you, and they will go. How are you monetizing? Are you monetizing it like? See, I do a lot of mentoring, coaching. I have books for sale, and I'm still a real estate investor.
Yeah.
So I monetize this stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I used to follow to give a lot of goodwill, and the first 50 or so was just a lot of goodwill and to build up the show. And now I'm going to start to monetize just and to do some mentoring. And it's not, I've not really plugged it yet, but it's kind of going to graduate into that. Yeah.
You want to find out the way to monetize it, because even though you're passionate about it and you're in the giving, you know, as my friend Gary Vaynerchuk says, you got to, you know, you jab, you know, you give, and then a right hook. That's, you know, today, what I'm discovering today with millennials and everybody wants more content. They want to investigate. They don't just say yes because you were high pressure, you asked for the order, or you gave this beautiful presentation. They want, nobody buys anything anymore without Googling it, right? I mean, everything. They're branded toothpaste for guy. Who's got the best price? Or a car, what's the safety on it? Or a real estate mentor or whatever. They want to Google it. And so if you put out the content and then they discover you, then you can sell your book, or do your real estate deal, get buyers come to you and say, hey, I like this guy. Maybe he'll, you know, I'll get past all the garbage with the other people who say one thing and do another. And stuff. I found it just makes the phone ring a lot. So,
you don't have really any trouble. You can be virtual wherever you want with the business, really, on the mentor side.
Exactly. What does everybody have in their hand here right now, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We are all carrying an iPhone or an Android. Okay. And do you have withdrawal symptoms if you leave it at home? Did you ever misplace your phone? And you went, oh my God, it's like losing your wallet or your driver's license. I mean, it's like losing a child. I put him down by Santa Claus in the mall. Where is he? You know, you lose your phone. I get crazy. I mean, oh my God, I need my phone.
Yeah.
It's like losing your arm or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way.
And so if everybody's carrying this and everybody is dependent on it for voicemail, messages, email, research, entertainment. This is this little thing. We've become the Walking Dead, right? We're all walking around like this, and basically, if this is the device that everybody has hermetically attached to their hand, why aren't we using this medium in every capacity we can? It's about creativity, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I love your microphone there. What kind of mic is that?
It's a podcasting mic, and it's a Rode podcasting mic is what it is. Yes, and so yours is coming across just as clear as I'm sure mine is.
And, good. Thank you for telling me that.
And plus, you don't have to be like right here, so that's nice that it picks you up from that far away.
Is it giving you a good? You got a good modulation.
Really clear.
This is called a Yeti, and I went on Blab and I saw the guys on Blab. They're a lot of regular lecturers or guys who have these conversations, and I saw that a lot of them were using this Yeti mic. And I asked about it, and I got it from I think $129, and I think it just marginally increases the audio, because nobody wants bad audio.
No, and it's very important, even if you're just doing mentoring Skype calls. I mean, to have good quality coming across it. Sets you up a level, you know. Absolutely.
So you're going to come to Colorado and go skiing with me?
Do you ski in the winter? Now, will you be there for a while, or do you go back and forth like all the time.
I go back and forth all the time. We'll be here till middle of January because we love the holidays out here.
Oh, yeah.
It is so pretty out here right now. Here, for you guys on Periscope, this is what it looks like, if you can see it. For you guys on Meerkat, let me show you outside my window here, if you can see it. It's winter. It's like a postcard here. It's beautiful on it. Now, these folks are watching me, and it's kind of a one-sided thing. They can hear me, see me. They can type in questions. To do it properly, I should be acknowledging them, and I apologize to you guys. I've been ignoring you. Hey, guys. Hey, Joe. And some of them are regular followers, and they text questions when I'm paying attention.
Is that on your iPhone right now, Claude?
Yes, my iPhone, and I have this little stand here. And
so if you pick up your iPhone and type back, they kind of lose the video feed.
I don't type back. They type to me. I respond verbally.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Meerkat's the same way. Now with Blab, which if I had enough time, we would have 4 different mediums going here: Periscope, Blab, Meerkat, and Skype. Okay, and I have all these mediums going out all over the world. People on Meerkat, Periscope, and Blab all over the world can watch this right now. And if they say, "Hey, these guys are boring," or "These guys are interesting," or "I want to learn more about Brock Collins or Claude Diamond," and maybe I can do it. This is in just putting out content in an entertaining, compelling way. This is marketing 2016, except nobody knows that everybody's carrying an iPhone now. That's the thing. That's what drives me crazy. Do you talk to a lot of in your interviews? I know I'm the bad boy of real estate, and probably I said stuff that was 180 degrees different.
A lot of people just aren't as frank as you were frank today.
I love being frank. You know why? Yeah. Because there's one wonderful thing that happens when I'm older than you. When you get older, you go to this wonderful place. It's like Disneyland for adults. You know what it's called?
Retirement home.
It's called, and you guys who know this, and cover the children's ears if you're in the car. It's called I Don't Give a Shit Land. And hey guys, and I Don't Give a Shit Land is where you just do what you think is right for you, for your family. I know most of these people are hardworking and they're honest. And you know what? We don't have to play games anymore to do business. Maybe we'll lose a lot of people who, when they hear me say a bad word, I'm not going to do business with Claude. Okay? And that, God bless him, that's okay. Then I'll have some people say, well, he said, don't ask for the order, don't give presentations, don't use scripts, don't use yellow letters and all that stuff. I'm using that right now. I don't like this guy. Good for them. Okay? I'm just going to talk to people, that little sliver of the pie, not a slice, not the whole pie. That little sliver of pie says, maybe this guy is onto something. Maybe this is someone who can share with me and help me to get to my goals because it's working for him. Maybe it'll work for me. It suits my personality, my needs. And though that's my peeps, that's my clients. I don't want to make everybody happy because it's impossible.
It is. Truly is.
On this. Should I let you go? Should I let you guys go? Has this been long enough?
It's been awesome.
You should see all the people who are following us.
Amazing.
On this stuff.
Wow.
So your podcast will be out when?
This one it's about 6 weeks out.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot in the pipeline already.
Why don't you get me for the New Year's one?
I can do it. We can move you up. Is that what you want to do?
Yes. Thank you.
Let me make a note of it.
Do you know why?
What's that?
Because I think
yeah, I do know why.
Because I think there's so much energy in your conversation with me. I think that would be just a great way to get people off the dime after New Year's.
So January 1 or January 2?
Let them get sober. January 2.
All right.
January 1. January 1. I don't know how many people. Most of them are sleeping late or on the couch. I'll be skiing. I love going skiing on New Year's Day. And New Year's 2 is that going to be on I don't know what day that is, but everybody wants to start, moving their business, their resolutions, lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
From all that good food. I'm doing it right now. God, I was just at my mother-in-law's house. She's shoveling food down me.
Well, that's good. No one's actually requested. I've got a couple of people that have requested different things, so no one's got that. So you got that date, man.
Oh,
So,
I'll give away. Oh, if you want to put in your do you have a comment section or
yes.
if you want, I will give every one of your viewers a free copy of the book, so they don't have to spend, so they don't have to buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
I'll give them. It'll be a digital PDF version.
You want to email me that link of where you want people to go to, and I'll put it in the show notes?
Oh, okay, sure.
Or do you want me to? You want to tell them how to get it?
No, I'll give you a link. That's easy.
Okay.
Where do I send it to?
You can just send it to Brock, BROCK, at Freedom Real Estate Investing.
Brock at Freedom Real Estate Investing. Awesome.
Sounds good. Claude, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, sir. This was fun. You're a great interviewer, man. You were great.
Good, man. I know you're busy. I know you got other stuff to do. So thanks for being on the show, and it's going to be great. So I'll send you a reminder on January 1. I know you'll be out on the slopes, but just to let you know that the direct link that's coming out for you on the 2nd.
Take care, buddy. Thank you for everything. Have a great holiday.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.